For some reaction, now we're joined by Grace Harding of the Restaurant Collective. She is also the CEO of the Ocean Basket Group. Grace, good evening and thank you for your time tonight. We did not expect the minister to open up the industry and just let the usual crowd come in. We did know that there will be restrictions put in place. But the question tonight, do restaurants still want to open with those restrictions in place?
Hi. I think so. I think it depends which kind of restaurant. So once again, it's quite difficult because a restaurant is everything from a lovely restaurant on a wine farm or a specialty restaurant where people go for huge celebrations. So I think it depends on the restaurant, but I believe that most restaurants, coffee shops, easy eating cafes will definitely open. I know that we are really excited to open and start welcoming our customers back.
There are those restaurants, Grace, with limited sitting arrangement. How do those restaurants fit into your 6 pillars of operating?
Well, we're really pleased that the minister didn't announce a specific number, because that would have been really difficult to manage and get the turnovers we need. So 1.5 meter safety is cool, we can manage that, and at least it allows for some flexibility because some restaurants are really, really big. So they'll at least be able to seat the effective number of people.
No denying this is good news, Grace. However, the letter that came from the Restaurant Association was requesting alcohol with meals. For now, the minister is saying that is not going to be the case. How does that affect your margins?
It depends on the restaurant once again. So we must remember there's a restaurant like a Mug and Bean and they don't sell alcohol, or it's mainly a breakfast restaurant. So I think there's a broad spectrum of reactions. At the end of the day, of course, we don't want any restrictions, and we understand that we have to be patient, and this too shall pass.
So outline for us then what is your operating procedure. How do you make customers feel at ease through the dining experience?
Well, before lockdown, we were already doing most of these things. The only thing that's changed is we are going to obviously take the customer's temperature and capture his or her details. But the protocols are ready. We've been doing most of the training already. Just the other day, we trained over 350 managers on Zoom. So the protocols are in place. We've been talking about them for over 3 weeks, and they're 99% accurate. The only thing is to add the customer register. So we're good to go.
What's important is that only healthy staff members serve the customers. So how are you going to guarantee or ensure the health of the staff? Because they don't stay in the restaurant. The restaurant might be a sanitized space, but they leave and they go home.
So we do have protocols for staff. We are encouraging staff to immediately wash their hands as they enter the restaurant. Their temperature will be taken before they enter, and we'll conduct the health questionnaire. So we've got guidelines in place. If any restaurant owner has a concern or if a staff member displays any of the key symptoms, we know where to direct them. Every restaurant knows where the nearest clinic is or testing station is, and also we know what to do if we're a bit concerned, quickly change shifts, sanitize the restaurant. So we've been following the guidelines and we're ready for it. We're going to look after our staff and make sure even our suppliers are have their temperature checked, and delivery guys, everyone who enters the premises.
Yeah. It seems though the emphasis, Grace, is on screening more than it is on testing, and we do know the constraints around testing in the country. But wouldn't you, like the sporting sector, feel a little bit more comfortable and more confident if the staff were to be tested before they resume work?
Wow. Well, imagine if, I don't know, probably nearly 1 million people or close to that can be tested in the next few days. I mean, that's not really practical, and no country has done that, even the countries perhaps with more facilities than ours. So I think the precautions are good. The screening questions seem to be working, and the minute anybody just looks or feels a little bit odd, we know what action to take. Our managers are really going to be trained over and over again, and we'll keep it safe that way.
A pledge of adherence to protocols has been signed by those who are participating in the restaurant sector. What does this pledge really mean?
I didn't hear the last sentence.
The pledge of adherence to protocols. What does it really mean? What is it for?
So what we're going to be doing is encouraging people to get hold of the protocols and then to pledge to adhere to it. So from a restaurant perspective, the pledge includes certain behaviors. Firstly, that you adhere to all the checks for your staff, for your customers, and for your suppliers. Secondly, that managers go through the protocols every morning before every shift and that the registered are kept. So the protocols are not that hectic. We must remember that restaurants are already quite hygiene-orientated spaces. And there aren't that many more protocols except for the masks and not coming close to customers, don't open the can, all of those things. So that's what the pledge is to follow the rules because we want to trade and we want people to be safe.
Grace Harding, appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us tonight. Grace Harding of the Restaurant Collective. She's also the CEO of the Ocean Basket Group.